This is DNA ladder. It's made up out of deoxyribose, which with phosphates make up the backbone of the DNA chain. Adenine, which always pairs with thymine no matter what, except for on RNA, can be located with hydrogen bonds, right about there, where they will join to create both sides of the DNA chain. Cytosine and guanine will also be chained together. They always chain together no matter what. They're joined together by 3 hydrogen bonds instead of 2, like with adenine and thymine. DNA also controls everything that goes on within your body. When you are first conceived, it will control what your body becomes, what you're going to look like when you're a baby. But as you grow older, it will also control things like where you get wrinkles, like if you get laugh lines around your eyes. It will control what your teeth look like how straight they are. It will control what side of the heart, what side of your body your heart is on. And that will only happen with very rare medical conditions. And that affects all of your intestines or organs, not just your heart. Even then, it's rare, so don't worry about it. If your family has a history of that, then oh well. But it will control what color your eyes are, what color your hair is, how your fingers look. It doesn't control where your skin bends and like what the lines on your hands will look like, but it will control what your voice sounds like. This is synthesis. Synthesis happens when DNA helicase comes and unzips the chain. Then DNA primase will prime up the strand of DNA, the half of DNA right here, so that it can get everything ready, basically. It's like primer for when you paint your house. It's like primer like that. Then DNA polymerase comes and adds all the missing enzymes. Then DNA ligase comes along and fixes any little gaps that you might find, like right there. And then the DNA strand will retwist up. So basically, instead of being like this, it'll go back to being like this. Yes, beautiful, beautiful little DNA strand right there. But that's pretty much it, except for the single-strand binding proteins. The binding proteins, which come and bind, obviously, that's why they're called binding proteins. They put the DNA back together, yes. And then this DNA thing right here, whose name I cannot pronounce, basically it keeps the DNA from overwinding or underwinding, so that it can be split, and then the nitrogenous bases can be re-added to the 2 sides, and it will then rewind everything as soon as it's done. Yes. Transcription. During transcription, RNA polymerase will move along the DNA chain. As it moves along the DNA chain, NTPs will go along and will become the other half of either half of the strand of DNA. Now, 3 are added on at a time, creating mRNA's codons. Now, RNA will keep on following the chain of DNA until a stop codon is created. And as soon as that stop codon is created, it will go along to begin translation outside of the nucleus. Translation. During translation, mRNA will come through this ribosome. That's a ribosome. As it goes through the ribosome, tRNA will connect to the mRNA so that it knows what amino acid to add to the chain of protein. This mRNA chain will continue to go through the ribosome with tRNA just connecting to it to add the amino acids until tRNA reaches a stop codon. Let's say this is a stop codon right there. When this stop codon is reached, the tRNA that is connected to it will add its protein, and then it will disconnect, and so will the mRNA. The mRNA will then dissolve inside of the nucleus, therefore leaving no trace of the code of DNA, or leaving no trace of the junk that it would have created. It would have just been junk in the nucleus taking up space. Works cited. I thank Wikipedia, Study.com, I thank Google and Google Images, Mr. Mosley and Mrs. Jeremiah for helping me create this project. And I thank you for listening to me drone on and on about all this random stuff about genes and all that. Thank you.